Location, location, location. Well, all I'm seeing is losses on top of losses on top of losses. All you guys out there that are owning a condo right now, you guys deserve all the losses and then some because more pain is coming. So if you think that condo investing is still a thing or is still valid today, think again because I'm going to show you guys the numbers. All right, guys. We're going to be diving into the HouseSigma website and we're going to go through their entire map because finally get to see a little bit of data as to what is being sold versus what's being listed. Because I had this discussion with a buddy of mine because I was going strictly based on what's being listed and seeing how scary of the price points that's being listed on the market right now. We don't know if those agents that are working with these sellers, they're purposely listing the price just to create a bidding war, because that seems to be a very common practice in the last 5 to 10 years. So I don't know, right? I don't know what's the true value of some of these condos, and I don't get access to the sold prices. But now, because of HouseSigma, I'm able to see this because you get a better picture of what's being sold, and I can finally say with confidence that yes, the average condo owner, one bedroom plus den, the average person that's making $55,000 a year that borrowed money from their parents just to use as a down payment, or they saved diligently and they finally got into a one bedroom plus den. These people that are caught holding the bag are pretty much down 50 grand minimum. Now, if you're on the luxury side of things, where you paid $900,000 for that same unit, same square footage, right? But because it has a bowling alley and a movie theater, and maybe there's like a gold water, hot tub, whatever the case may be, that you're paying $900,000, you're suffering around $200,000 to $300,000 loss because the cat's out of the bag, the bubble burst and everything. And people are starting to realize that, you know what, the demographic that can afford to pay $800 to maybe $1,500 in maintenance fees every single month, it's not really a lot of people are willing to spend that kind of money, right? It's literally just money being burnt every single month. So let's get into it. If you guys don't believe me, then believe the numbers you're seeing. And if you don't believe that, then someone's lying here, and it's not me. So let's just go into the numbers here. Now, at the beginning of this video, I was saying location, location, location. How many of you guys know that you spoke to a real estate agent who thought that they were an expert right now during the last 10 years? They kept on saying location, location, location. That's what's going to save you. Really? All right. So Young and Bloor, prime of the prime. If you shop on Bloor right now, these are the high class type of stores. Holt Renfrew, right? What was it? Burberry. I don't even know all the brands because I don't shop here because it's ridiculous paying like $14,000 for a 3/4 length jacket. I'm not going to shop here. It's ridiculous. But this is the prime location right here. Okay. And let's just zoom in. All right. We're looking for one bedroom or one bedroom plus den, just to get an idea. All right. And going based off of the average square footage during the peak of 2022, it was around $1,300. But if you want to go based on what was the fair value before the crazy run up, we're looking at around 700 to 750 a square feet. That it was usually the average price point. But for me, $700 a square feet is already too expensive for a condo. So let's take a look. Okay. I guarantee you this unit right here, let's take a look as to why this thing's worth $928,000. Look at the shoebox. This person can't afford proper staging and everything because they're trying to make back every single penny because they're taking a huge loss on this. Okay. You guys think that this might be great. It's really not. You can't raise a family in this if you're planning to raise a family. But yeah, you know what? This is not bad. You have a little bit of a breakfast bar here just to enjoy, but this is pretty much the entire unit, and they want $928,000. How many of you guys want to bet that this is not going to sell for $928,000? It's been listed since June 16th. You can see why. So this person is never going to sell, but in the same building, 7 floors down, right? It's a 1 bedroom and 1 bath. That's the difference as to why the price is so vastly different. Almost 300 grand difference. That's insane. Do you know what $300,000 can do for my investment in my single family home? It's an entire extension. We're talking about an extra 300 to 400 square feet of a house extension if I got to pay $300,000. But here in a condo, it gets you an extra bedroom and an extra washroom. Not much more extra square footage, just an extra bedroom and an extra washroom. Yes, the square footage in the washroom and the bedroom adds to it, but is it really worth $300,000? You guys are losing pretty hard right now because for the average single family owner right now, yes, they're suffering the same thing, 10 to 20% drop, but they can house hack because each floor can be segregated into a separate unit. And in Toronto, there is a gray market. It doesn't have to be retrofitted to be legal dwelling units and everything. We're in a housing crisis. I'm telling you this right now, a lot of people, especially your neighbors, are going to look the other way if you're trying to rent out individual rooms, individual beds, or individual floors. There are so many ways for you to generate some income to help you hold the bag than compared to someone that has a condo where you have to deal with building maintenance. And if your building even allows you to do short-term rentals, for example, right? There's a lot of restrictions. But anyways, let's go into this one bedroom, okay? It's being listed for $649. Not bad. It's been listed since August 1st. So what was the previous listing if they were listing this before? So this person is actually listing this property because they probably heard the bad news and that Canada is going to be cutting rates. So they thought they can get ahead of it, ahead of the curve. So 649. So it's not much information we get there. Let's keep scrolling. Oh, let's look at this. This has just been sold. 580,000, right? One bedroom plus den with a bathroom. Location. Hold on here. Let's have a look, okay? Now, I want you guys to really pay attention, okay? Pretty simple layout, same layout. The other one that was asking for 929,000 had the kitchen, dining with a little island and everything in the middle. That warrants a $920,000 price point, okay? I don't see it, but you tell me, okay? Little dining area, but it almost looks like the same square footage, no? The other place had a little couch here. The TV was on a separate stand here, right? Balcony, same thing. Bedroom. Oh, this is the den. This is a nice, pretty spacious den. You can actually convert this into a bedroom, which they did, right? And it's sold. It's sold for $580,000. Let's see here. They bought it in 2011. They bought it for $550 in 2017. So let's just see here. What's the square footage? So let's just say it's a 700 square feet, right? 700 square feet, bought it for $550. $785 was the price that they paid in 2017. And they tried to flip it for $650 in 2025. Why would they sell it for that type of price point? For 700 square feet. Yeah, they're trying to get just below $1,000 a square feet, thinking that they can still get it. But good for them. They actually sold it for $580. They barely broke even. They actually took a loss on this because now that you're selling, you got to pay that 4 or 5% commission fees plus closing costs again. So at $580,000, you're paying, let's just say it's about 4%, 580 plus closing costs and everything. Yeah. So they actually net around 550. And if they actually lived in this, great. There's no capital gains. But if they actually treated any of this as an investment and everything, then they're paying HST on this just to add salt to the wound when it comes to this type of investing. But this person just barely broke even for buying a place in 2017. You know how stupid that type of investing strategy is? That you locked up your money for 8 years to not generate a return at all. I'm not even factoring in all the maintenance fees that they paid from 2017 up until now, because that's money you're never going to get back. That's gone. So if we were to average out that the average maintenance fees that this unit was paying, let's just say it's $500. 500, okay? Average, right? For 8 years. That's $48,000 just in maintenance fees. I'm not factoring in all the mortgage payments of just paying interest from 2017 up until 2025. You guys out there who are not involved in real estate and everything, you guys are thinking, oh, this person managed to break even. So no, they didn't. They still lost, right? With the maintenance fees, with the interest and everything, this person probably lost about $100,000. 100,000 for something that they bought in 2017. Okay. This is just a one-off. All right. Remember, this is prime location. Everyone has their own opinion what's considered a prime location. So let's go with something that's being advertised so heavily in the last, what was it, 5, 6 years? This is another construction site that I had the privilege of working on. We're going to go into it and take a look, right? One of the most famous 15-minute cities that's supposed to be designed that within 15 minutes of where you live, you get access to everything, which I find pretty garbage. But let's take a look. So Spadina and front, right? The condos are from here, from this small street, and it stretches all the way to Spadina. No, sorry. It's from this street, Portland Street, all the way to Spadina. So all this is the, okay. Let's just take a look. Let's go into the units, all right? Oh, wow. A unit sold for 602,000 compared to the, what was it? The 480, 490, right? This has to be a better location. Why did this thing sell for 602,000 for a 1-bedroom, no parking? No parking, guys. All right. Very overpriced. All right. Oh, no. Why did this person think they can sell it for $738,000 in March 1st of this year? And it got terminated, couldn't sell. And then they had to revise the price, and they sold it finally in June for $602,000. And you're thinking, oh, you know what? They did pretty good. No. The well has been known to sell on average above $1,000 a square feet when they are selling pre-construction units for the well. Based on ChatGPT, it said it was around $1,300. So let's cut it down the middle. $1,150 is the average price, right? And 600 square feet. $1,150, multiply that by 600 square feet. This person's paid $690. And apparently the average price for a unit at the well was around 720 or 740 to as high as 900,000. So we don't know the actual real numbers as to what this person bought this unit at, but we know for sure they lost money. For sure. So $690,000, right? And they sold it for 602. That's a $90,000 loss. I'm not factoring in the maintenance fees or occupancy they paid for. The building cannot transfer title over to you until the rest of the building is actually complete. But because your unit's actually functional and you can actually move in, you get to live in your unit until they complete the rest of the floors. But during that time, because they're not able to transfer title to you, they have to charge you rent or occupancy, which is money that's going to be gone towards nothing. It just goes towards the builder and everything just to help pay for all the cost while they finish the rest of the unit. So roughly it's anywhere between 6 months to up to 18 months, depending on the developer, right? But let's just say this person paid 6 months worth of occupancy at around, at this rate, about $3,000 a month. That's 18 grand on top. So this person lost well over $100,000 because they had to pay for the seller's closing costs again. They had to pay commissions again. And the only people that seems to be making money in this market are the real estate agents. They make money on the buy, they make money on the sell. They don't care as to when you bought it and when you sold it and if you're going to make money or lose money. They don't care. As long as the deal closes and they get the commission, that's all they're going for. And that's why I hate real estate agents today, because they don't deserve the percentage that they're earning for such little work. They got pretty much everyone sold on the idea that, like, as long as you have location, you're good. And here we are showing you prime examples that you bought into the location and you're still losing money. So for all you realtors out there who still believe in your strategy and your advice that you're giving to clients and everything, comment down below and show me like at least 10% or 20% of examples on the market right now where location saved your clients. Show me. And don't be telling me that, oh, they bought in 2008 and they're making money. We're coming to 20 years of holding an actual investment, okay? I'm talking about you guys that are still selling to your clients back in 2022 or even 2018 up until now. That location was actually going to save these people's money or their investments, and that they're actually making money right now. It's not happening. But let's just see if there's another example here, okay? All right. We got that one. This one's trying to sell for $818, but because of this one that sold, 1 bedroom, right, for 602, they're not going to get their price tag of $819. The reason why, for all you guys that are on the sideline that's never bought real estate before, if you're buying an already built condo, banks today are going to scrutinize the actual valuation of the condo because there's so much data points or sold units that have been sold in the last 30 to 60 days or even 90 days where it drags the average sale price of a lot of these condos. There's really not much you can do in terms of adding value to a condo. It's literally based on square feet and where it's located. And because you're seeing a lot of units that are being sold within a 1 kilometer radius, you're going to see that these prices, they have to come down because the people that they're trying to cater to, the demographic they're going after, it has to be people that make $70,000, $80,000 a year as a couple. So it's a combined income of a household income of maybe $120,000 to $140,000. They barely have the down payment for 20%. And being priced at $819,000. Imagine if the bank say, no, your unit's not actually worth 820, it's actually worth 750. And let's say you get the buyer to convince to purchase your unit for 820. Let's just say, right? They have to come up with the shortfall in order to satisfy the bank's requirement. They're only going to lend on a valuation of $750,000. So they have to come up with an extra 70 grand on closing. And yet these people have a hard time saving 20% off of the 820, which is around what? 100 and what is it, 160, $170,000 maybe. So they had to come up with $170,000 for a down payment, plus another 70 grand for the shortfall, plus a land transfer tax, double land transfer tax if you're here in Toronto, plus lawyer fees and everything, and closing costs, right? You really think that your demographic can afford to buy your unit for $820? No, you're going to have to come down on the price. And I'm sorry, you can see it right now. This person was insane. They tried to sell it last year for $775, no bites. Then try to relist it for $850, hoping someone can come in and lowball them. They can accept that price. No bite. Then they relisted down to $824, no bite. Drop it down for $788, no bite. Got expired. And now they're relisting it because of the news of the economy doing not so great. Still no bites, right? This is going to be on the market for quite some time. But here, guys, here's another one that sold. $595, 1 bedroom, no parking. Okay. Look at that. Here's the real price. This $838 is what you're seeing as being the break-even price that they need to sell it at. Let's just say they price it just to make 50 grand, right? They bought it for 700-something thousand. This person was not immune to the location, right? And they still took a loss. So come on, realtors. Come on and actually comment. Let me know as to how you're helping these clients protect their investment. What was your due diligence for your clients when it comes to buying a overpriced condo now? Are you hiding away from your clients now? Are you not answering their calls? Because they're definitely blaming you if you convince them about location, location, location. What do I know? All I see is now I see sold price, and that's a fact. You can't change that. Did this condo unit caught on fire and everything? Is that the reason why price point's so low? Like, I'm really angry at the people who got convinced that condo investing is an actual valid investment vehicle. But yet we are trained on this side when it comes to real estate investing to find out how many exits strategies that you have. And you really don't have much with condos. The only reason why it's still valid in Toronto is if your condo building allows short-term rentals. Guys, if you are stuck holding the bag right now and you don't know what to do, I know it's going to get rough, but you guys have to figure out how to get involved in short-term rentals right now. And I know Airbnb is pretty much like a dead market right now, but because of Toronto, it's protected, it's regulated and everything. There's not a lot of supply of Airbnb units that's on the market right now. So take advantage of that market while you still can, because you got to somehow increase your cash flow and everything and start bringing in that money. And hopefully you can weather out this storm, because it's going to get a lot worse. Like, I can go into more examples and everything, and we will on a week-to-week basis. I'm actually, this is entertainment for me to actually look into seeing what's being sold, because personally, I hate condo investing. Even if condos were $100,000, I might consider it for a 1 bedroom plus den with parking. But even then, it's the maintenance fees that are being forced onto me that I have to pay every single month. Even if you paid off the entire mortgage, that maintenance fee has to get paid every single month, and you can't delay it. Like, you can't really put that aside as if, like, for me, my furnace might be at the end of its life, but it's still running. I can literally be like, you know what? Instead of me going out and paying to replace my mid efficiency furnace for a high efficiency one, I'll see how long it'll take for this thing to crash out. And if I get an extra 2 or 3 years and I'm just saving money towards that new furnace, by 3 years, if it's still running, but I saved up enough to pay it all in cash, boom, I can replace it. But for every single day that the furnace is still working and I decide to keep on rolling with it, it's money in my pocket. But you guys who have to pay the maintenance fees every single month, that needs to be collected every single month. You can't delay that. You have to pay it. That's what I hate about condos. I hate it with a passion because you don't have a lot of control of what comes out of your bank account. It comes out rain or shine. If you decide not to work and everything, maintenance fees has to get paid. It's the same thing here. Yes, if I lose my money, if I lose my job, I still have to pay the bills around the house and everything, but I have a lot of flexibility with my home, unlike you condo owners. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to be signing out. If you guys like this content, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, comment down below, follow, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.